Good morning, everyone, and happy Earth Day. This is a very special day to the planet. Despite all the bad situation out there, our planet is here, and let's celebrate the beautiful environment that we have. I'm going to talk a little bit about Neenah in general before we jump into the wall coverings, because a lot of people, we're very excited for the opportunity to be speaking with you today about all the wall covering materials, but a lot of people associate Neenah with commercial print, but we are much, much, much more than that. We have global manufacturing and distribution. And with that capability, we are present in several niches that can provide integrated solutions to brands and retailers that are looking for high quality and innovative materials. And when it comes to sustainability, sustainability is really in our DNA. When you think about paper, this is pretty much what we do, it has a very positive impact on the environment. Paper, number one, supports a circular economy, which is very important. There is a lot of recycling centers out there. Paper can be recycled up to 7 times. Also, when you put into perspective, as a brand, how much it's gonna cost you to recycle 1 ton of any material, it's about $30. If I have to pay to put that in landfill, it's almost double, it's $50. In Europe, for example, that a lot of incineration is only option that you have besides recyclability, it's almost, 200%, it's $70 to incinerate. The most important thing is the fact that the paper has been around forever. So the recovery rate is so high, is over 68%. So when it comes to plastic, unfortunately, the impact on the environment is not so great. Pretty negative. There are studies showing that every minute 1 truckload of plastics thrown in the ocean. They say that in about 30 days, in 30 years, is gonna be more plastic in the ocean by weight than fish. PVC also, when goes to the ocean and everywhere, they never disappear. They just became tiny, tiny, tiny pieces of granulations. So that big breakdown is gonna take years, and all those little pellets will end up in the ocean. And you probably heard the whole microplastic thing, where fish eat the plastic and we catch the fish and we eat the fish with the plastic. So it's not a very nice cycle to support. And the recovery rate of plastic in general worldwide is less than 5%, only 4.4% of the plastic produced in the planet today is recovered. It's a very, very big deal. And sustainability, it's everything we do, because we are a paper manufacturer. We are all about responsible fiber sourcing, conservation, and recyclability. When it comes to sourcing, we use FSC certified pulp. Forest Stewardship Council is how it stands for, but it's a very responsible sourcing practice that is present in all the wall covering products. Also recycled. We not only use the product, but we keep reusing on a continuous basis. Some of our wall covering options has 38 post-consumer waste. And one very interesting thing about our paper mills is the fact that we are Green E certified. That means that we manufacture our papers using 100% renewable green energy. We're very proud of what we do and to make a contribution to the environment. Today we're going to be talking about one specific niche of our wide format portfolio that we call environmental branding and decor. One note before I jump into this, there is please, we're gonna have a question and answer session at the end of this. So if you have questions, I would love to hear, and I'll be happy to answer every question you have. But we have 2 interesting family of products under the wall covering portfolio. One is called DIGISCAPE, and the other product is called EnviroCalculator Mural. The Neenah wall covering was really created to provide a more sustainable alternative to vinyl-based wall covering. So how much do we hear about, photographics, dreamscape, or even traditional pressure-sensitive vinyl, right? So it's nice to come with the market with a solution that's cellulose-based. And the market for wall covering, it's booming no matter what. Even now, in times of COVID-19, wall covering has, continued the increase of the share. Just last year alone, the market was over $7 billion. But the most interesting thing is that only % of this pie was printed digitally. I was in Europe 2 months ago, and I was talking to a big industry institution that showed me a study showing that in the following 5 years, the expectation for this market was to grow another 20% on digitally printed wall covering. So imagine how much opportunity we have ahead of us. As you know, there's pretty much 3 areas of specialty when you talk about environmental branding and decor. One is the commercial wall covering. The commercial wall covering is more designed for a long-term, permanent interior design elements. So when you go to the hospitality market or to the health environment markets, corporate offices, a wall covering that it's intended to last a long time on the wall. There is also retail branding that you can use the commercial wall covering, but also you can use a lot of temporary murals, cash wraps, very like calendar based, and that includes opportunities with restaurants, with retailers, with groceries and convenience stores. And another very important segment that we have is called interior design. That's pretty much the home decor. B2C customers. It's interesting because this is one segment that to me as a salesperson, I'm in global business development. So I help companies identify opportunity and go for. And home decor is a big thing that I'm doing right now. People are working from home with the forced lockdowns. And finally, they are having time is spending to do home renovations, spending time thinking like, oh my God, I've been waiting to paint this wall forever. I want to do a revamp in my living room. So it's very, very, very exciting to see. So let's talk about Neenah wall covering. What these 3 products they have in common is the fact that none of them have PVC. So they're all PVC-free. All the 3 product lines, they are saturated with latex. So they are wet strength. Because they are cellulose-based, they are very breathable. So let's go over our standard DIGISCAPE. DIGISCAPE is our traditional paste the wall product. It's available in type 1 and type 2. In case you guys are not familiar to type 1 and type 2 wall covering, type 1 is more a medium duty wall covering application, and type 2 is more like a heavy duty product that needs to be installed in high traffic areas, that needs to be more resistant into scrubbing and staining. The beauty about DIGISCAPE is that although we keep a few embossed versions available in stock, we have a canvas, we have one that's sand payable. You can have also the possibility to choose custom embossings from animal skin to wood grain or orange peel, leather, linen, everything that comes to your mind. The product line is FSC certified. They have 30 to 38% post-consumer waste, and those contributes for LEED credit, for green building certifications. And when it comes to safety, it is ASTM E84FR certified. Another amazing product that we have is our DIGISCAPE stick car. DIGISCAPE Décor, I would say it's ideal for temporary murals. Very easy to install, very easy to remove. Has a pressure sensitive, removable adhesive on the back. DIGISCAPE Décor also has a very nice body that helps hide wall imperfections. It's also FSC certified, comes with post-consumer waste, and those two attributes, it helps give you 2 LEED credits for green building certifications, and the product also has a ASTM E84 FR rating. Third but not least is our EnviroCalculator mural. This is the oldest fella in the family. It has been around for a while. I personally love this product. It's very targeting the home decor market because it comes with this water activated backing that's very easy to apply. There is this space, imagine like a stamp. So you spray with water, you fold the panel, activate the paste, apply to a wall. It's very easy to make a mistake and correct those mistakes. That's the reason that I think in times of lockdown that people is having a lot of time at home and they finally thinking it's time for me to go back to my home project and revamp my living room, or hey, my kid needs a new, revamping on the room. This can be a great home decor product, very easy to install. It's available in smooth and texture like the DIGISCAPEs, has the FSC and the post-consumer built to the fibers that contributes for LEED credits and has a ASTM E84 FR rating.
Eleni, we have a couple questions. One question is, as related to benefits of paper over vinyl for wall graphics, can you address not only, I guess you're covering some of the environmental, but as far as the printability, installation, with VOC paints, what are some of the advantages of having a paper as opposed to, because I think some people think paper, they're thinking 20-pound paper, it's going to tear going up on the wall, but that's not the case.
Yeah, absolutely. You're totally right about that. I'm gonna let's put in this slide, for example, right? Commercial wall covering. The advantage is you have a cellulose-based product, fiber. So you start adding on things. To have the wet strength, you need the latex. So you saturate that cellulose-based product with latex for wet strength. Our product line, the DIGISCAPE line, we also reinforce with polyester. So that product is almost stretchable. Think of like a book cover. Think of a Bible cover. That, surprisingly, most of the Bible covers, they all cellulose based, and you start like adding features that make the product very resistant. And vinyl, in the other hand, is PVC. They have a lot of like static. Everything that you get away of PVC is gonna be a lot less headache for you to print. Also, vinyl, they have acid and they yellow over time. So when you print with our DIGISCAPE or our EnviroCalculator, you're gonna have a quality of your printer, of your equipment. So that panel, once goes to a wall, it's gonna look good over time,
You're mentioning about the paper. There's a question with regard to stretchability. Doesn't vinyl stretch whereas paper doesn't, meaning for longer drops?
I have to say, this is why dimension stability is so key, Carol, because every substrate, they tend to stretch once they are wet. So if you think of commercial wall covering that you do have to paste the wall, they tend to stretch, but the key is how they contract. If they're not stable, you can't control the stretch. So this is why if you're going to do a big panel installation, always good to have a ½ overlapping. So you secure, you can do butt to butt. There is always risk of all products to have a little retraction, but with vinyl, it's terrible. Sometimes it's so noticeable that it requires you to reinstall the wall. You know, just think there is so much opportunities when it comes to commercial wall covering, not only on a general hospitality market. So commercial wall covering is definitely a huge application and a huge demand right now. But don't forget about retails, right? There is a lot of retailers that are finally exploring wall covering alternatives in order to deliver that message. And not only retail, think of like restaurants. We have a project with DIGISCAPE DECOR. They are using as backdrops for red carpet events. And they love the fact that, hey, guess what? I don't need to remove the vinyl and prime and paint and apply again. So just think of endless opportunities. If you need to use something that doesn't need to stay much longer on a retail space or on a grocery space or with a restaurant, DIGISCAPE DECOR will be a great option. I also think, besides walls, every sealed surface can be a great opportunity for DIGISCAPE DECOR. We have customers that use in metal, in elevator doors, in glasses. There are customers that use in plexiglass, on furniture. Last but not least, home decor. And again, a lot of people like to do the traditional paste the wall. And I love the fact that I can do like crazy embossings and really transform spaces inside my own house. But home decor also can be a great fit for your EnviroCalculator. So right now, as a printer, I don't know exactly the audience that I have in front of me, in this computer today. But one thing I keep in my mind, if you're a printer and you have equipment in your print shop, and now you're facing difficulties due to the lockdown, think of wall coverings like EnviroCalculator or even the DIGISCAPE DECOR and sell those as an alternative to B2C customers. Customers are looking into ways to get themselves busy during this time of quarantine and finally dedicating time for home projects. So I think it's definitely a great tool for you guys. We also have printed samples and testing samples available. Our printed samples on all the products we have, it's 8.5 by 11 sizes, but we also have sample rolls, 30 inch by 20 feet. And we don't charge for those sample rolls. We just ask that you provide crew and team with a FedEx or UPS number, so you can test and see how it applies to your wall. And now, if you have questions, ask away, send chats, and I'll be happy to help.
One is about, in these hospital environments, about wipeability.
Mm-hmm.
And some people will ask about, as far as liquid laminate, is there anything that has been used now, Marabou or anything like that? Is it working?
Well, we do have customers that apply antibacterial lamination to it. This is something that as a substrate manufacturer, it's hard for us to control itself, because once we provide, our product is washable, our product is resistant to water, to soap, to cleaners. The problem is how the ink is gonna fade under, if I want to put a chlorine solution and swipe that every day. We do recommend lamination. Lamination in general provides a great deal of protection, especially like we have a project for Chipotle that they just use, they can do liquid lamination, they can do adhesive, And for hospitals, a demand for antibacterial that you have to talk to, lamination company, like Marabu, like Seal, or, other companies in the market to see what they have.
Can it be like a spray-on roll-on, or do you know if there's any limitations as far as the thickness of, say, maybe, I know it would affect the textured surfaces, but from a smooth perspective, could you put like a 1 mil laminate, roll like a flexible laminate, run through a laminate?
Yeah, you can do that, but you said it all, the texture, the idea behind the texture is about creating that tactile, that kind of sense that you have when you touch the wall.
Right.
I would go in that case with the smooth, and to apply the lamination.
Right.
Lamination is always gonna offer you protection against the ink, not the product, So
Right.
product, it's extremely durable. Keep in mind that DIGISCAPE in particular, DIGISCAPE is the base product that our mill produced to make the Bibles, the publishing division, all those book covers that look like leather. It's not leather, it's cellulose, So it's a very resistant product.
Well, I know that we've actually had people use the DIGISCAPE for particularly this time when everyone is looking for temporary signage, because it is a more durable product and the texture kind of adds something to it. So they love that DIGISCAPE sticker weave with that unique adhesive. They'll just do like temporary posters.
Yeah, temporary posters. I even had people asking me about floor graphics, and I'm like, okay, let's not go too crazy, but we had situations that the floor graphic was not a long-lasting one, that they put a lamination and they applied to a floor, So,
Wow.
Yeah. What the problem that you always have to keep in mind with the adhesive, it's adhesive does not like dirt, and dust. Because every time you apply a sticker to a wall that's not clean and had a lot of dust on it, believe me, that can give you a headache. But every product with adhesive faces the same problem. This is why when you apply a pressure sensitive adhesive, any adhesive, any product with a backing adhesive, you have to make sure that the surface is clean and full of debris, so you don't compromise the thickness of the product.
Another question with regard to any testings. I know that Neenah has a very good relationship with HP, but what about the new printers, the new latexes, the hybrids? Any experience with your material printing on those?
There is a lot of testing going on, and yes, you're right. We do have a great relationship with HP, and it has been tested. We have a technical specialist on our team, and he works very close with OEMs to develop profiles and keep up to date. As you know, all those OEMs, they send new machines all the time. So soon the HP is going to be loaded. Right now, you can download all the Colorados for Canon. Canon is also a huge partner, because the DIGISCAPE, we have a partnership right now. When a customer buy a Colorado machine from Canon, they get a roll of a DIGISCAPE Type 2 to run an actual real job, play with profiles, test real jobs on the walls, and that has been very successful. One good advantage about DIGISCAPE 2 is the fact DIGISCAPE Type 1 and Type 2 and DIGISCAPE sticker is the printability. If you have an eco-solvent printer or a latex or a Colorado or a UV, you print without a headache. Our EnviroCalculator, that's the paper that activates with water, it's great to print with latex, UV, and the UV gel from Colorado, but not eco-solvent.
Okay. Great. We have another question. Can sticker weave be used on glass windows?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. But keep in mind, the product is not like 100% block out, but has a very good opacity. So yes, you can put on glass, plexiglass, metal, wood, besides wall, of course.
Great, thank you. I remember the project, was it down in Florida, what, a couple years ago? The it wasn't Printlat, it was with the Telemundo, and they were actually looking for something that was a very quick turnaround, and they were applying this to plywood, the DIGISCAPE stick-our weaves, because they could stick it up, it would stay, and then the next day they could just take it right down and then reuse the plywood.
Yes, and they don't have to like, normally when you use the other materials, you have to paint, reprime, you know, it's a lot of headache. So it saves a lot of time. Just think that, look, and as a printer with this product line, instead of thinking of charging, you know, paying by square feet, you can pretty much talk about linear yard, you know. It's very economic, very saves a lot of time installing, has a great printability, has a green story behind. It also, I will go back here to the EnviroCalculator. Oops, oh, sorry. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna go back to the EnviroCalculator page. So when you go to our website, there is a resource tab that you can pretty much, if the product has a post-consumer waste, they generate a report that shows how much savings you have on that choice. So if you buy one skid of DIGISCAPE II, that has 38% post-consumer waste. So you pretty much, there is a lot of savings when it comes to carbon footprint, energy, water, solid waste, emission. So there is a lot of trees that you can save. You know, if you consume one truckload of pressure sensitive vinyl per year, look like how much can you save in terms of water and emissions and solid waste and trees. So I think it's nice to do your part and help protect the planet, you know, especially today on Earth Day, you know. So yeah, exactly. We're very, very, very happy to provide the market with a product that's a high performance, durable, but most of all is free of PVC.
If anyone would like the link to the EnviroCalculator, or if you would like to have a copy of this PowerPoint, you know, please, or get samples or any of the materials that we've spoke about today, don't hesitate to contact us, info@digitalcolorinc.com, and we'll be happy to forward the information to you. We've been hearing different of our customers that we're talking to these past couple of weeks, and they're all saying on the other side that they're really going to be making a change in their portfolio they're offering, and it's going to be more of this green alternative. So keep it in mind. Well, Melanie, we really appreciate your time today and your
Thank you.
Presenting the Neenah wall covering line, and we do truly appreciate each and everyone's time today. We know you could spend it elsewhere, so we appreciate you spending it with us. Hope you're able to take something away from this, and all the best. Stay safe, and see you soon.
Wonderful. Thank you all.